All right, now, what do you think will happen if I take an equation whose graph I know and I just multiply the whole equation by some number? What's that going to do to the y values? If you think about it, if you have a y value and then you multiply it by a number, then that's going to, well, it depends on what number you multiply by. If you multiply by 4, it's going to multiply all of your y values by 4. So all of those y values that you had are going to get stretched out by a factor of 4. So what that's going to do is it's going to take your original graph and stretch it like you're starting at the x-axis and then stretching it up. If the y values are positive, you're stretching them up by a factor of 4. And if they're negative, you're stretching them down from that x-axis by a factor of 4. So just to make sure, I've calculated these y values, and I chose the same x values that I've been choosing for y equals x squared. I'm going to graph them both here. I'm scaling my y values a little smaller than I'm scaling my x values, just because I'm limited on space in the y direction. So my y equals x squared looks a little flattened out. That's okay as long as I label my numbers on the y-axis correctly and stay consistent throughout the whole y-axis. So now when I plot the second graph, you can see the y values are stretching up. At the origin where y was 0, the y value doesn't change because we're stretching from the x-axis. So if there was no y value before, if the point was already on the x-axis, then 4 times 0 would be 0. It doesn't get stretched out at all. There it is.